Good evening and welcome to Thursday's programme. First tonight, the City Council, which is hoping to balance the books by getting rid of hundreds of beds for the homeless.
That's right. That council is Leicester, and it's planning to chop £2.2 million from its budget by 2015. That
could mean the loss of 255 beds across the city, a cut of more than 40% in its accommodation for people without a home.
Well, those who work with the homeless say it could mean more people sleeping rough, but the City Council says it plans to help more people get into permanent homes. Simon Ward is in Leicester for us now. Simon, this sounds very serious.
Yes, good evening. I'm here at the Community of Grace, where some of the residents have just been enjoying their evening meal. We'll be speaking to the man in charge in the next couple of minutes. Now, 9 years ago, Leicester was described as a beacon city because services for homeless people were being seen as so good. But could that level of service continue in the future?
Sean lost his job and had problems with alcohol. He became homeless in Leicester. He's now living in accommodation with Action Homeless. He's sceptical about council plans to cut beds.
If you've got vulnerable people and you're making cuts, I don't see... There's been no benefit in it because they just go round again. They'll probably end up in hospital, National Health Service. No, I think it's very worrying.
Right now we have a lot of factors that could potentially cause increases in homelessness in Leicester and around the country, factors such as major welfare reform, a difficult employment market and the recession generally. Add to that significant funding cuts to homeless services, and it will certainly be challenging as we move forward over the next 3 years.
The City Council says it has to make cuts.
There's been a sense of dependency within our hostels, and what we wanted to try and create is independence. Some of our residents have been coming to our hostels, and in terms of the revolving door process, they've been in and out on occasions, and we feel as though we need to break that cycle of dependency.
The YMCA in Leicester has 91 beds. 83 are funded by the council at the moment.
Concern that the budget's going to be cut and the effects on homeless young people. But there is a recognition by the organisation that the council have to make some very difficult decisions, and ourselves, alongside other voluntary sector partners, have been involved in the process, although we weren't the ones that made the final decision.
Sean hopes to find a new job soon and then a place of his own.
Well, this charity is independent. They don't get council funding, so perhaps able to speak out even more than the people we spoke to just there. Joining me now is the Reverend David Morris. Good evening to you. The council say they're going to put more people in independent accommodation. Can that work?
It can work if there's been a good deal of work done on the people, with the people rather, who have been homeless, bearing in mind the level of difficulty they've experienced. It can work, yes it can.
There could be 255 fewer beds. Is that going to lead to more homeless people on the streets, in your experience?
I think it most certainly will. We've combated unknown numbers of homelessness for a long, long time. And to add to that by 250 is astronomical.
But Leicester City Council does have to make budget cuts. All councils are losing money out there. They have to make cuts somewhere.
Well, they have to make cuts. Well, then they have to make cuts. But they could have done far more to prepare us all for the cuts. There are ways in this city of doing all sorts of things with homeless people without spending vast sums of money. But it needs setting up, it needs developing. It hasn't been done properly, and had it been done properly, I doubt very much if that 250 would be hitting the streets.
So briefly, what would you advise the council?
I think the council needs to start being very realistic about the numbers of homeless people, the kinds of difficulties they have, some of which are very, very acute. For instance, post-traumatic stress disorder from people who served in the forces, undiagnosed, untreated.
OK, Reverend, thank you very much for joining us this evening. So the consultation has started. The City Council say no final decisions have been taken yet.
Simon Ward, thank you.